Okay, good day guys. So today we'll be learning about how to make wigs using the machine sewing method. So here is the dome cap I'm going to be using, the dome cap and the coily hairs. I'm going to be using coily hairs for the wig. I'm going to be using a coily hair for the wig. This is the coily closure and this is the coily hair I'm going to be using. Exactly, so here we go. I'm going to first outline it. Since this is, I want to assume this is the first time of you using a machine, so you're going to outline it. So you're going to sew on the lines that I have marked. We're going to sew on the lines that I have marked. And there's something I also want you to note. While marking your dome cap, you can mark it whichever way you want, but while sewing, ensure that in the process of sewing, if you see that your weave is not that much, you gap it a little bit. You mustn't follow it through like this. If your wig is not much, you can jump a particular line and move to the next line, but if your weave is so much, you can start sewing in between the lines. So it depends on how your weave is. So before I continue marking, I'm going to have to sew my closure first. Let me sew my closure first. I'm going to do that before I complete the marking. Like I said, I'm going to have to add the closure first, attach the closure to it before continuing my lines. Now this is how the dome cap looks like. This is the front of the dome cap, while this is the back. When you see this line like this is the back and this is the front. This is the part that faces the edge. In a case whereby the dome cap looks like this, just pick up any side and start sewing. So this is what I'm picking up. I'm going to have to fold it into two because I want to get the middle of the dome cap so that I can attach the middle. Look at my machine sewn closure. I'm going to attach the middle of my closure to the middle of my dome cap. So here is it. After attaching it, here is how I sew. Here's how I sew my closure. I will sew it by the side. Okay, so I'm going to be sewing the side of the closure. That's how I sew, and that is how it should be done. Sew the side of the closure. So I'm sewing the side of the closure down to the dome cap, attaching it to the dome cap. So here it is. So I've sewn the closure, attached the closure to the dome cap. Now I'm going to complete my marking. So the next part is this, and that's all about the marking. So it's time to work. It's time to sew the weaves to the dome cap and make our wigs. So remember I told you that you're going to have to start sewing. So these are my hairs. They are in 16 inches, 2 16 inches, 2 14 inches, and 2 12 inches. 2 14. So like I showed you earlier, it is 16, 14, and 12 inches weave, but I want a 14 inches wig. So I'm going to be starting with 14 inches instead of me starting with 16 inches. So here is me attaching it to the dome cap, line by line. using the marks that I have made on the dome cap. Yes, so I'm going to be sewing it line by line by line. Yes, I'm cutting. You might be wondering why I'm cutting my weave. I'm cutting it because I have no intention whatsoever of removing it and turning it into fixing it on my hair anymore. So remember, it's line after line. So as I was saying, I don't mind cutting my weave. I don't mind at all because I have no intention of fixing it on my head anymore. I just want it as a wig. So I have no intention of that. So if you want to maybe loosen the wig and fix it on your head, that's fine. You can decide not to cut it. But I want to cut, but I do not have any intention whatsoever of loosening and fixing it. So like I told you, we are still sewing line after line. We're still sewing line after line. Remember what I said, that while sewing, if you realize that your weave is not much and might not contain the line that you have drawn, do not hesitate to jump over the line to the next one. Do you understand? And if you also realize that the lines you have drawn are not much for the weaves, you can also sew in between two lines. It's as simple as that. It's just being able to use your initiative. That's all. That's just what wigging is all about. That's what wigging is all about. Being able to use your initiative. So I hope you're getting it. I'm not too fast. I'm not fast. Just really hope you're getting it. Yep. To me, sewing with your machine is faster, it's neater, it's easier, less stressful compared to sewing by hand. Well, I'll say it's to your preference. Whatever one you feel like doing is to your preference. So I'm going to keep sewing till I am done. So I'm closing the closure part. I want a perfect sewing. You can't have a customer seeing the closure. No, that's a very bad job. So you're going to be closing it. That white line must not show. It gives your work a very upgraded look. when you do that. And you close it. So yeah, everything